You know him, Sam?
I don't think so. Do you?
No.
Well, that's funny. He talked like he knew you when he asked us to locate you.
Who's that?
Oh, that's the girl in the car. She's okay.
What's her name?
Oh, he's got it.
Sally. I know him, Sam. Frank Gordon.
Frank Gordon. Wait a minute now.
Prosecutor with the district attorney's office.
Oh, yes, yes.
Not lately. He's been in private practice for over a year now.
How is he?
He's got a broken neck and a busted nose so far. No telling what we'll find when we get him out of here.
Frank? Frank! Does he hear me?
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Sam, I need time. You gotta get me time.
Don't move anything. Don't move.
Take it easy, Frank. This is a doctor.
Remember me, buddy? Your car turned over. We're getting you out of here pretty soon. We're taking you to the hospital.
Frank? Frank? Bill Yoler.
Oh, yeah. Who are you?
I'm Henry Tabor, Frank. I'm working with Mr. Benedict.
Lawyer? Good man, Sam.
Good man, Frank.
I can get him a new trial.
Get who a new trial? New trial for what?
I need time, Sam. You can't let him do this to me. You gotta get me time.
What's he talking about?
I don't know. Hank?
I don't know.
Sam. Frank here defended Mickey Herman.
Who's that?
One of a young punker kidnapped a 16-year-old girl last year and killed her in cold blood. He's been sentenced to the gas chamber. And Gordon here's been trying to get a stay of execution for him all week long.
Did you cover the case?
Nope.
How we doing?
We can get her out now.
Good.
Tell us what you want to do, Doc, and we'll do it.
Okay, boys, bring the stretcher up.
Herman's scheduled to sit down in the green room at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Who prosecuted?
Charlie DeFranco.
Department what?
I don't know, Judge Gould, whatever it is.
Now, fellas. Come on, boys, let's move that stuff. The man's been here too long already. How we doing up there? Okay, let's get over here now. Take it easy now, dude. Let me have it. Let's go. I didn't get it. All right, let's take it out. All right. Raise him up very gently. Easy. Take it easy, boys. Wait! Come on, let's go!
You gonna do it, Sam?
Do what?
Save Mickey Herman, like he was trying to do?
I don't know Mickey Herman. From what you tell me, I don't want to know him. I don't even know Frank Gordon. I don't know anything about this case.
You know something about capital punishment. I've heard you shoot your mouth off about it 100 times.
Well, I'll say one thing for Frank Gordon. He picked one pip of a night to get in an accident. I wonder what happened to that girl he was with.
I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here.
Frank Gordon asked me to help him. He's a fellow lawyer, fellow human being. He needs some money.
He asked us to get him some time. I got $10.
I need a dime. The least we can do is try.
Try what? Time for what?
A new trial for his client.
Mickey Herman's due to die tomorrow morning. Isn't it a little late?
Frank Gordon didn't seem to think so. The police say he was driving 50 miles an hour down a wet, narrow street. Must have had something on his mind. I wonder where that girl he was with is. I gotta talk to her.
Benedict?
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Springhart. Are you related to Mr. Gordon?
No.
Well, do you know anybody who is?
No.
Does he have a wife, a family, or what have you?
I guarantee he had a mother, Doctor.
Inescapable.
What are the chances of talking to him?
Lousy right now.
Are you the doctor in charge of Mr. Gordon?
I am.
How bad is he, Doctor?
This is Mr. Gordon's secretary, Doctor. She was with him in the accident.
Oh. I suggest you go home and get some sleep, Miss Haney.
Well, can I talk to him, Doctor?
Not until he's out of the OR, and I can't tell you what time that'll be.
What's your name?
Well, Florence Haney.
I'm Sam Benedict.
Is he going to die, Doctor?
I hope not.
How well did you know Mr. Gordon?
I'm secretary.
Well, that's what I mean. You must have known he was trying to get a stay of execution for Mickey Herman.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that? Do you know on what basis he intended to get it?
I'm sorry. I just can't see it.
Sam?
Hello? Hello? Oh, come on. Will you wake up, Pat? Yes, I know what time it is.
I'm sorry, Miss Haney. I have to ask you these questions. When was the last time you talked to Mr. Gordon?
Tonight.
What did you talk to him about?
Oh, don't get me confused. He wanted me to come over to the office to prepare a writ. What can I do, Doctor?
Nothing right now.
What kind of a writ? Did he say what kind of a writ he wanted?
No, maybe habeas corpus or a writ of prohibition. I don't know.
Frank Gordon, Gordon?
Yes.
Middle initial.
J. Will you tell him that I'm here, Doctor?
Not until he's conscious. But I'll tell you something right now. There's no sense in you staying here.
Well, isn't there something that I can do? Well, look, did he ask for me?
He asked for that man there. Look, I gotta get back.
Rent or own?
Well, Doctor, wait.
What is it? What?
Can I see him? Can I just talk with him,
Miss Haney,
please?
it's
Let
all
me
right.
talk.
Just be quiet, just for a moment. Doctor, I have to talk to you.
Rent or own?
What? Oh.
My name is
no,
Henry
it's a
Tabor.
smaller part
Now,
than
I'm an
he
associate of
rents
Mr. Benedict's.
Telephone?
We have to talk to Mr. Gordon as soon as possible. He was a lawyer and he was trying to stop an execution.
I
You don't have
gathered
Social
that. Look, he's got his
Security?
own problems.
For heaven's sakes, I don't know.
Doctor, we have a life and death situation on our hands.
So do we. Look, I'll do everything I can to
Health
accommodate you,
I
but
don't
don't
know.
back on too
I
much.
don't know.
Check me in about a half-hour extension
Is
324,
Mr. Gordon
okay?
married or single?
He's divorced.
Oh, your name, Doctor?
Dr. Springhart.
Thank you.
Don't forget to tell him I'm here. Please tell him that I'll be waiting right here. I don't want him to think that he's all alone.
Sure. You use that picture and I'll sue you right out of the business, Buster.
He can do it. Invasion of privacy. Miss Haney, please. I've got to talk to you a minute.
Isn't there something that we could do for him?
They're doing everything they can. Now, can you tell me, or can you give me any idea what Mr. Gordon was doing on the case?
Well, he was...
Notify.
What?
Whom shall we notify?
Well, notify me. I just know that that's all he's been working on night and day. That's all he's been working on for the last few weeks.
A relationship? Are you related to Mr. Gordon?
No. I'm closest to him.
Closest?
Yes.
Was there anybody working with him on the case? Did he have an associate counsel, or was the public defender's office involved?
No, he was working alone. The poor man was practically out of his mind this week.
Address and phone.
3414 O'Farrell, Prospect 51613. He didn't sleep, he didn't eat, he just kept poring over the transcript.
Was it something in the transcript of the trial? An error, procedural?
I don't know. I don't know.
I got a very upset deputy clerk on my hands tonight.
That's not the only thing.
Will he cooperate?
I don't know. We're going to see him in about 15 minutes. We'll find out then.
At least we got that far.
Hey, mind if I tag along?
Yeah, I do. We need help, Bill, not publicity. What about her?
Nothing.
Say, what about a call to the clemency secretary, Sam? You know, Mickey Herman's been deprived of counsel by act of God or something.
I'll take care of the legal end of it. You write the stories.
That's just what I was going to do.
Now, wait a minute, Bill, will you? I meant what I said.
Well, so did I.
Look, I know this is a natural story for you, and I know what you can do with it. But for right now, put that phone down, will you?
Well, you're kidding, Sam.
No, I'm not. Who did you say covered the case originally?
I didn't say.
Can you find out?
Sure.
Then do it. My sources of information so far are one hysterical secretary, Miss Housas, and one unconscious lawyer in there.
Hey, wait a minute, Sam. What about my avid readers, huh? No, a story like this doesn't come up every day. Frank Gordon was one of the toughest prosecutors we've had around San Francisco for the past dozen years. He's the kind of a guy who would send his own mother to the gas chamber, and probably did. All of a sudden, he goes to the other side and gets smashed up trying to keep a no-good crumb like Mickey Herman out of the chamber. And you're asking me not to make a phone call.
I'm asking you to contact the reporter who covered the case, and I'm asking you to send that photographer home. I'm asking you to think about that crumb in the death house tonight. He's still a man. He's still got a heart and soul and feelings. I don't know what his state of mind is, but I can guess. A radio report, something on the news could get to him and make it much worse if he began hoping for a miracle to happen.
Could be better, too, couldn't it, Sam?
You know as well as I do that every death sentence is automatically reviewed by the Supreme Court and the governor. I've got a whole drawer full of letters in my office from men in the death house asking me to get a stay at execution for one reason or another. I hate those letters, Bill, more than I hate the fact that I've never been able to do anything about them. Put yourself in that death house.
Charlie, see you later, huh?
Thanks, Bill. Miss Haney?
Yes, sir?
We're going to try to do whatever it was Frank Gordon was going to do to keep that Herman fella out of the gas chamber. I don't know what that was or how he was going to do it, but we're going to try.
Yes, sir.
You think you can rearrange your emotional schedule long enough to give us a hand?
I'll try.
That's a good girl. Go on.
When Mr. Gordon called you, how did he sound?
He sounded fine. Just fine.
Does that mean hopeful, defeated, confident, tired? What, Miss Haney?
I'd say he sounded confident.
Why?
What?
Do you think he sounded confident in relation to the Herman matter?
Oh, yes. Of course. Definitely.
What did he say about it?
What?
What exactly did he say about it? Do you remember?
Yes, I remember distinctly. He said, Florence, I found my mistake.
My mistake? That's what he said?
Yes.
Did he tell you what the mistake was? What he'd found?
No, I'm afraid he didn't.
Did he tell you anything else?
Yes, he wanted me to meet him. I'm sorry. I work for him. I've worked for him for a number of years. I do not know. I have never known. I will never know what's on his mind until he says it.
Please, don't cry.
Of course not. What a mess. Look at my stockings.
Yo.
Hello, Pat.
Getting a man out of bed in the middle of the night.
This is Miss Haney.
What do you do?
This is Mr. Tabor.
Yeah. Who are all those people?
They're helping me.
You know, this is against all regulations.
What regulations?
What regulations? The office is open from 8 to 5 every day. Those regulations.
You stick to those regulations, Pat. You'll be helping that guy drop the pellets into the gas chamber at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Hey, lady.
She was in an automobile accident tonight and skinned her knees. Let's see the transcript on that Herman case.
Transcript? I thought you wanted the docket.
Well, that too.
Docket's over there along with the register. Nearly broke my neck getting that stuff down for you.
Thanks, Pat.
Hi, this is Pat. Yeah, Sam Benedict's here with some people. Here at the office. Mr. Benedict asked me to. He's on the Herman case. I didn't want to take the responsibility. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. The boss.
Oh, how is he tonight, Pat?
He said you were entitled to look at the docket, and I wasn't entitled to any overtime.
Sam, look at this. Gordon's motion for continuance denied. Do you know anything about that, Miss Haney?
Yes. Mr. Gordon was trying to get the trial date set back. He didn't feel that the court had given him enough time to prepare his defense.
Why was that, Miss Haney?
Mr. Gordon was trying to locate a certain witness. The state had witnesses against Mr. Herman identifying him at the scene of the crime. Mr. Herman claimed that he had been with a woman the night of the killing, a girl he had picked up, Sapphire.
Sapphire?
Yes, that's the only name he gave us.
We're talking about an alibi witness?
Yes.
Well, did he ever find her?
No.
3 days later, Mr. Gordon filed a formal motion for continuance. His affidavit, the defendant's affidavit, memo on points and authorities. Motion for continuance to secure alibi witness denied on the ground of insufficient proof of existence. How many times did he make that motion, Miss Haney?
Well, I don't know. I never went to court with him.
What efforts were made to find this woman?
Oh, Mr. Gordon looked for her everywhere.
I'm sure he did. It sounds to me like she was his whole defense. Was she?
Yes.
Did he hire anybody? Did he ask the police department to help locate her?
Well, no, Mr. Gordon couldn't afford to hire anyone.
He tried all alone?
Yes.
Do you think he might have located her tonight, Miss Haney?
I don't know.
Do you think Mr. Gordon could have located her any night, Miss Haney?
What?
How long have you worked for Mr. Gordon?
8 years almost.
Then you were with him when he was in the district attorney's office before he went into general law practice.
Yes.
Then you're acquainted with the tactic of introducing an issue of reasonable doubt in the minds of a jury, Miss Haney, such as a missing witness, and banking on the jury not to vote a death penalty as long as such a doubt exists. Was a missing witness Mr. Gordon's tactic in this case?
I don't know.
You keep saying I don't know, Miss Haney, and it seems to me obvious that you do know. Because in your legal experience, you've been exposed to many, many capital cases, and you can certainly imagine how important that missing witness was to those cases. Now, do you think that this missing witness in the Herman case ever really existed, Miss Haney?
Mr. Gordon said...
I'm asking you what you think, Miss Haney. Please, tell me.
I don't know.
Here's the transcripts. Where do you want them?
You know, you fellas must think I got nothing better to do but to hang around here day and night. Well, I'm going out and get some coffee. What else you want? You got the dockets, you got the transcripts. You want me to sign a stay of execution?
I wish you could, Pat. That's what we're trying to get.
Look, Frank Gordon requested leave to withdraw from the trial when his first motion for continuance was denied.
What?
Yeah, it's in the first volume, page 3. Man can't be around a place like this for 22 years without noticing some things.
What's the matter? What's the matter with her? She could have told us that.
Maybe she didn't know. Maybe she didn't want to know. Maybe she wanted to forget. It's not the most professional thing to remember about a man.
Maybe she doesn't feel like being too helpful tonight. We've got to find out about her right now, Sam.
We're not going to find out anything about her right now. Eventually, we might. She's been through a great deal tonight. The accident must have affected her. She's tired.
We don't have any choice, Sam.
If a man's life weren't at stake, I'd tell her to go home and go to sleep right now.
These things might be helpful. She can be helpful.
Okay.
I feel sorry for her.
I feel sorry for Gordon. Miss Haney, did you know about this request to withdraw from the case?
Yes.
Look, the second paragraph.
Frank, I mean, Mr. Gordon, he was very upset when the court couldn't grant his motion. I don't blame him. That judge just wasn't fair to him.
I think he was. Insufficient proof of existence of the alleged witness. It's right there in the record. But I don't think you're being fair to Mr. Gordon, Miss Haney.
What?
Or to us, or to that man over in San Rafael who's only got a few more hours to live as things stand right now.
But...
Do you want to help Mr. Gordon or don't you?
Well, of course I want to help him.
I'm glad, Miss Haney, but I'm not glad about a thing like this. We can spend all night going through the docket, the transcript, the record, trying to find some valid reason to request a stay of execution. That's a pretty big job and a pretty hopeless one, on the face of it. We can do that, Miss Haney, or you can guide us to extraordinary details such as the fact that Mr. Gordon tried to withdraw from the case before and after it went to trial, such as the fact that he made 2 motions for continuance, one after the trial was half finished, such as the fact that he did not seek professional assistance nor avail himself of facilities of the public defender in trying to locate his missing witness.
Yes, sir.
Don't cry.
I'm not crying. It's just that I just don't know. I tried to tell you honestly. May I have a match?
All right, come on. Come on. Give her that match, will you? Now then, in your opinion, did Mr. Gordon really want to try this Herman case?
No, Mr. Gordon didn't want to take it, but once he did take it, he worked on it night and day.
And you were right beside him?
Yes.
All the way from arraignment to sentencing?
Yes.
Right now, here, tonight, you are right beside Mr. Tabor and me, Miss Haney. You have exceptional knowledge of the conduct and prosecution of this case, and you can help us shortcut the work that has to be done. Will you do that?
Hello, Sam.
Hello, Charlie.
Usually a lot of reporters hanging around for this kind of thing.
Yeah, that's right, usually, Charlie.
What are you trying to pull?
Frank Gordon was in an accident tonight.
I heard all about that.
And you know what I'm trying to pull.
Hello, Mr. DeFranco.
Nice to see you again, Miss Haney. I had a call that you were here. The clerk felt I should be notified. What paper are you on, son?
I'm not a reporter. I'm a lawyer, Mr. DeFranco. My name's Tabor. I'm an associate of Mr. Benedict's. We're working together on this.
Under the circumstances, Charlie,
The circumstances are that Herman is a gross, brutal, murderous animal. I prosecuted him that way, the jury found him that way, and the court sentenced him that way. The fact that Frank Gordon is hospitalized doesn't change the nature of the case.
Just so you have it clear, I don't care what Herman did or didn't do, what he is or what he was. But I do care about the full protection of his rights under the law. And since there isn't a reporter around, Charlie, you can quote me when I tell you that that protection is jeopardized when the counsel of his choice is lying in a hospital.
He had all his rights. Frank Gordon gave Herman a good technical defense. The jury found against him, and that's that.
Technical?
That's the only kind of defense he could have. Herman was guilty. You look like a bright young fella. Don't let this guy work you all night for nothing.
Suppose an error came to light, Mr. DeFranco. Would that be for nothing?
You won't find an error, Mr. Tabor. There was none.
I'm going to try, Mr. DeFranco, and if I do, you won't mind if I take it before a judge and try and get a stay of execution?
Okay. Okay, I deserve that. For that crack about the reporters. I apologize, Mr. Tabor. I apologize to you, Sam. Can I say something without you being sore?
Yeah, sure, Charlie.
In my office, we don't prosecute people unless we feel they deserve to be prosecuted. We don't ask for the death penalty unless the law says they have it coming. I'm very sorry about Mr. Gordon's accident, Miss Haney. I know how you must feel. Sam, Herman isn't your responsibility. Neither is Frank Gordon. I really came here to tell you just that, not to be nasty.
Shut up, Pat.
Miss Maxwell covered the case, Sam.
Where is he?
He's a she, and she's on her honeymoon. She didn't like it too much when I called her up, either.
What'd she say about it?
Well, Chris felt they had him cold from word one. It was a very tight case against him right from the beginning. She also said that Gordon went to trial unprepared.
That's a lie.
I'm just telling you what she said, lady. Now, Chris has been covering court trials for more than 20 years. I'm not so sure she's not a better lawyer than half of those guys in court.
What else?
Well, I don't care what she said or who she is. Mr. Gordon worked very hard and tried to do everything he could for Mr. Herman. Don't you say those things about him.
I'm just telling you what she said, lady. Don't pick on me. Wait till she comes back from vacation and pick on her.
Very idea.
The case went to trial, what, 10 days?
10 days.
Well, Chris said it took the jury exactly 40 minutes to come in with a verdict. She'd bet that it took 35 of those 40 minutes to pick a foreman. Oh, just 40. I give you this for what it's worth. Chris said that in all her years, she's never yet seen a prosecutor who was able to defend. No, switch sides.
Is that it?
That's about it. Help any?
Well, any opinion by a trained observer helps.
Do I make that phone call?
When there's something to phone about.
This is where I work. This is Mr. Gordon's office.
Gordon's been away from the DA's office how long now?
About a year.
Doesn't look like he ever left it, huh?
Or he brought one of their officers with him.
Mr. Gordon's been working on this file all this week. Perhaps you'll find something in there that will help you. This is the correspondence on the case. All this here is new to me.
Was he using these books tonight?
I suppose so. I'll just take those out of
Leave
here.
them.
I'll take them.
Leave them.
What kind of cases has Mr. Gordon been handling since he left the district attorney's office?
All kinds. Of course, it takes time to get established after you've been in one position for so long.
What specifically?
Well, the 2 custody matters, some probate work, and several divorce cases and a breach of contract matter.
Anything in the criminal field? Has Mr. Gordon been doing any criminal work aside from the Herman case?
Some, yes.
What does that mean, Miss Haney?
Well, Mr. Gordon didn't have much time for anything else but the Herman trial. He did handle a robbery and a woman who was accused of manslaughter.
That's all?
And a narcotic case. Why?
It seems to me a man of Mr. Gordon's background would be doing mostly criminal work. Did those cases go to court?
Yes, Mr. Gordon handled them all. This is a copy of the remitted from the Supreme Court on Herman.
Thanks. How do those other cases come out, Miss Haney?
The verdict went against him.
In all of them?
Yes. Mr. Benedict, they were guilty. That's not Mr. Gordon's fault. I'll just take these.
Miss Haney, do you have a copy of the transcript in those other cases?
Out there.
May I see them? A matter of comparison.
Comparison?
Yes. How Mr. Gordon handled the defense in those cases as compared with the way he handled the Herman defense.
All right.
Miss Haney, how did Mr. Gordon get involved with Mr. Herman?
Judge Gould asked him to take it.
Judge Gould?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I suppose you all know Judge Gould. When he asks you to do something, it's practically an order. Mr. Gordon didn't like having to defend Mr. Herman.
But he did it for Judge Gould.
Yes.
How did Mr. Herman feel about Mr. Gordon?
He didn't like Mr. Gordon. Mr. Gordon had prosecuted him once.
Fight to counsel?
Maybe.
Do I make a call? Time's running out, Sam.
In the light of past events, the court could take the position we were approaching the matter on another pretext.
The Sixth Amendment says a man is entitled to the assistance of counsel for his defense. If he doesn't get it, he's being denied due process.
Hey, why not wake up a judge or somebody and find out, huh?
We've got to find out. How bad does the defense have to be to show he's been denied assistance?
Prosecutor is written all over this place, Sam. Look at it. Is that all it was?
Here they are.
Thank you, Miss Haney. Tell me, Miss Haney, why did Mr. Gordon resign from the DA's office?
Well, they were making a nervous wreck out of him over there.
Miss Haney, was he asked to resign?
Well, certainly not. He was the best man they ever had. He did more work. He was in court more than anyone on the staff. Why, he had the highest conviction rate in the district attorney's office.
Thank you, Miss Haney.
Mr. DeFranco, this is Henry Tabor with Sam Benedict. I apologize for getting you out of bed, Mr. DeFranco. But we need your help. Why did Mr. Gordon resign from the district attorney's office? Mr. DeFranco, I know the ethics involved. But you also know what we're trying to do. Will you please consider that? How many times did that happen? Where? Did it have any effect on... Well, I'm asking it anyway, Mr. DeFranco. In your own personal opinion. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. DeFranco. Good night.
Any change, will you? Get some rest now. You people are much too early.
How is he, Doctor?
He's alive. When you consider the alternative, that's progress. Now, what do you want?
We need a statement.
He needs rest.
We have to talk to him, Dr. Springhard.
I can't allow that. He just got out of the operating room a few minutes ago. I told you once before.
I know what you told me, Doctor, but let me tell you something. Unless I can find out what's on that man's mind, another man dies this morning.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
As much as I want to see him, I don't think we should try it this time.
Sam.
Well?
I got to DeFranco. He didn't like it much. He was reluctant to discuss it. But I think maybe we have something that ties in.
What?
It'll be hard on her.
We've been hard on her all night. We've been hard on ourselves.
The past 2 years, Gordon was on the district attorney's staff. He seemed to go to pieces. He was admitted to this hospital right here, as a matter of fact.
What for?
Nervous disorder.
Meaning what?
Well, DeFranco says that Gordon was almost fanatical trying to get convictions. He got them, but there were quite a few mistrials, too. And quite a few things that never got beyond the district attorney's desk. But he kept right on going, anything and everything. Prejudicial misconduct, half a dozen contempt citations.
A troubled man.
Well, DeFranco feels, and it wasn't easy to get it out of him, and this is strictly off the record, that Gordon was emotionally upset.
How upset does that mean?
Well, the nervous disorder when he was admitted here would be a matter of record.
A record we wouldn't be able to get without a court order. Was he neurotic, psychotic, what?
Maybe just overworked. He had personal problems outside the office. His marriage went on the rocks and his son was killed in an accident.
Things like that are enough to make a man neurotic, psychotic, erratic, or anything else.
One more thing. He was asked to resign, Sam.
What?
The district attorney just didn't want to put up with him anymore.
You were right. She knows. She has the answer. Come on. Miss Haney, what are we doing this for? What are we looking for?
Well, maybe I'm just so tired. I don't understand you, Mr. Benedict.
What have we been up most of the night doing?
Well, we're trying to get in a stay of execution for Mr. Herman.
And why are we trying to do that?
So Mr. Gordon can get a new trial for him.
And we don't know exactly how Mr. Gordon intended to do that, so we have to assume that Herman is somehow innocent or that his rights have been denied him, or both, don't we?
Yes.
Do you know what Mr. Gordon had in mind tonight, Miss Haney?
No, I don't.
Do you know what he was going to do?
No, why do you ask me a thing like that?
Because I'm very tired, too, and he's very tired. Mostly because we have only a few hours.
4 hours and 15 minutes, Miss Haney.
After that, it'll be too late to do anything.
Well, aren't we doing everything we can? Haven't we done everything we can?
How long had you been driving with Mr. Gordon before the accident?
What?
5, 10 minutes?
It was 2 or 3 minutes before we had the accident.
What did he say to you in those 2 or 3 minutes?
He had nothing to say.
Not even hello?
Oh, yes, he said that.
What else did he say?
Nothing, I tell you.
Nothing? A man in Frank Gordon's frame of mind with the pressure of a client in the death house? A man who had been studying the transcript for a week?
Well, he said he was sick and discouraged and didn't know where to turn next.
Driving in the car for that 2 or 3 minutes, do you suppose he figured out where to turn next and sent for me?
Well, maybe.
On the phone, you said he sounded confident?
Yes.
When he called you, didn't he say something like, I found my mistake, something like that, Miss Haney?
Yes, he said that.
Well, it seems to me that's a very important event, and he'd want to talk about that right away.
Well, he did talk about it. But it was only an idea that he knew wouldn't work.
What was the idea?
We'd like to hear it.
Well, we had the accident before he could tell me.
He was studying ALR tonight, an amjur, and corpus juris secundum. He was researching denial of right to counsel. Wasn't he, Miss Haney?
I wasn't with him in the office. I don't know what he was researching.
Don't you, Miss Haney?
No, I don't.
The books were there, right on his desk.
I know.
It doesn't make sense he'd send for Mr. Benedict at the accident unless he had something definite.
It would if Mr. Gordon's a fraud.
Fraud?
A grandstander making frantic last-ditch efforts. For publicity, maybe.
His practice isn't all it could be, is it, Miss Haney?
His practice is all right. It takes time to build it up. You two aren't hiding anything from me. Oh, I know what you thought about Mr. Gordon's office, and I know what you're thinking about him. But let me tell you, you don't know him at all. He's a fine trial lawyer and a fine, fine man.
Nevertheless, Mr. Gordon accepted the first 12 jurors without voir dire. He stipulated the qualifications of police officers and expert witnesses without examination. He tried to withdraw from the case. He made a transparent attempt to utilize the old non-existent missing witness tale. He waived closing argument. Does that sound like a fine lawyer to you? It doesn't to me. You know what I think? I think Mr. Gordon was with the DA's office so long that he was emotionally incapable of accepting the concept of an innocent accused.
Well, you're wrong. You're very wrong. And if that's the way you feel about it, why don't you just leave?
Because I have to find out if that's true or not.
Well, that's ridiculous. That's silly.
It can happen to a man.
Want to come this way? I don't know whether this is going to do you any good or not. He's in and out of delirium. Got just about 30 seconds. Come on.
Frank? Frank? Frank, is Herman innocent or guilty?
They're all guilty.
Make it, Doctor?
Well, if you people leave him alone, he might. Don't you forget what I said.
Our own affidavits?
Yeah, it's weak, but it's all we have left. Miss Haney. Sit right down here, please. An affidavit in the usual form.
Please,
You're a notary, aren't you?
Yes, but...
Well, come on. Now, the affiant, Samuel Benedict, being sworn, deposes and says, 1, that he is a duly licensed attorney in the state of California, et cetera, 2, that he has examined the record in the case of the people of the state of California versus Michael Herman, that he has had further occasion to examine the office files of Frank J. Gordon, attorney for the defendant, in the above entitled action.
Hey, what's all this about? Come on, somebody. I've been keeping my mouth shut all night.
Keep it shut a little longer, Bill.
3, that based upon said facts, it is the opinion of the affiant that the said Michael Herman was denied the assistance of counsel guaranteed him by Amendments 6 and 14 of the Constitution, and that Frank Gordon failed and neglected to conduct the defense in a vigorous and energetic manner required by the professional code of ethics.
You can't do this, Mr. Benedict.
I have to do this, Miss Haney.
You'd ruin that man in there for an animal like Herman?
You're taking a lot on yourself, Sam.
I took on a lot tonight.
Yeah, I'm with her. I wouldn't trade even one bum lawyer for 1,000 Mickey Hermans.
Try to write an unbiased, factual story along those lines, Bill, and make sure you quote the Constitution correctly, especially the part about due process. I don't want to do this, Miss Haney. I don't like doing this any more than Frank Gordon wanted or liked the job of defending Mickey Herman, even though the Mickey Hermans have to be defended. We have every reason to believe that that man in there that you love so desperately was not unmindful of his moral responsibility in this case. From everything I've seen and heard and read tonight, the only honest and ethical choice he had, the only recourse that a judge would listen to, was for Frank Gordon to admit that Herman had been denied his constitutional guarantee of the right to a fair and vigorous defense. Isn't that why he sent for me tonight, Miss Haney? Isn't that what he was trying to do? In the name of God, please tell me.
You want me to help you ruin that man in there? I won't do it, Mr. Benedict. I can't.
I'm asking you to help me do what he wants done. If you can't help me, and you won't, Miss Haney, he'll hate you as much as he'd hate himself.
What am I gonna do? What am I going to do? He's worked so hard and for so many years, for so long. He's not young like you. He doesn't feel about life the way you feel about it. It's a worrisome thing to him. He gets tired and scared and discouraged. You have men like that in your work. You know what I mean. I'm not a young woman. All we want is a little happiness. We deserve that. We can't have that if he's disbarred, disgraced.
Can you help me?
Frank was taking this to Judge Gould tonight when we had the accident. I know about law. I've been around law officers long enough to know that Herman will be convicted at the second trial. Why not get it over with? I kept asking him, why? Nobody would care or cry about Herman. He'd be forgotten in a week. But Frank, I'd cry about him, Mr. Benedict. I'd care about him for the rest of my life.
A request for stay. Declaration admitting his incompetency.
Honor has a high price on it tonight, Sam.
Yeah,
We better get this to Judge Gould.
right.
Good night, Miss Sam.
He's made the first step towards feeling good about life.